Hi everyone and welcome to today's video. Today I am back with another review. I'm finally back with another review after taking a little bit of a break, an unintentional break. If you follow me on Instagram, then you already know why I've been absent here on YouTube, but just in case you don't, let me fill you in. I broke my hand. Now I wish I had this really cool story behind how it happened, but I just tripped up the stairs. I tripped as I was heading up my stairs and my fist just went straight into the railing, which is how this happened. It's feeling a lot better. The first week was kind of brutal. Second week was still kind of like, Now I'm on my third week of healing and it feels a whole lot better. I am actually able to do stuff with my right hand a little bit more. So that is why I'm finally sitting down and filming. Once again, it feels so good to be back. I was like, pretty upset because it happened right at the beginning of the year and I had so many videos planned out, but anyway, I'll catch up. Now today we're going over a product that I have been asked about a lot, especially recently. I don't know why, but it has been out for quite some time. This is the Live Tinted Hue Stick. Now these hue sticks retail for $24 US and they can be found in 3 different shades. I grabbed the middle shade, which is Rise. You can also find this in the shade Perk, which is kind of like a really like light peachy shade. It reminds me of this one here from Charlotte Tilbury. Like it looks like that, similar to that. And you can find it in a deep red, which is Origin. That's the name of that shade. I grabbed the middle one just because I wasn't really sure which one to choose from. You can buy all 3 for $60, but I didn't want to unnecessarily spend the $60 because let's say I don't like the formula. You know what I mean? So I figured, you know what, let me try the middle one. Let me try the formula first. If I like the formula, then I will absolutely purchase the other 2. Otherwise, you know what, $24, it's not a big deal. Now these hue sticks are not only meant to color correct dark spots, hyperpigmentation, or dark circles, but you can also use these on the eyes, you can use them on the cheeks, and you can use them on the lips, which I thought was really cool. I have this on, I already applied some of it onto the base or as a base on my eyes. I really like the formula so far from what I felt and how it went on. It's really lightweight, but it's super pigmented. This is what the little packaging looks like. A+ on the packaging for sure. I like that it's kind of like this rough metallic looking packaging and it doesn't leave like fingerprints all over the place. Now the formula in these little sticks include hyaluronic acid, squalane, and vitamin C and E. So not only is this going to help balance out the skin tone and cancel out darkness, but it's also going to be beneficial for our skin. All right, so let's get started with applying some of this on to the under eye area. Now I'm gonna just apply it with my finger since that's how it's recommended. Oh, that's a lot. Let me try to blend it out. So this is not as orange as I thought it was going to be, honestly. When I first opened it up, before I applied it on the eyes, I thought this was going to be super duper orange like the Dragon Beauty one. Y'all remember this one? If you saw my previous video or my previous review on this, then you know what I'm talking about. That one's really deep, like reddish orange. This one's not as bad, and I do feel like it's canceling out the darkness. Just ignore this for the remainder of the video. I had to take my splint off because it was really getting in the way. Like I wasn't able to, you know, do much with my hand. So far, I really like the formula because it's very light. Like I said, it's very lightweight. You can see that there's product underneath my eyes, but you cannot feel like there's anything underneath. If you look at it up close, it doesn't seem like there's much of anything underneath the eyes. All right, so now I'm gonna apply a little bit of foundation onto the face before concealing. All right, so now that foundation is on, let's move on to concealer. I'm gonna try to start off with very little concealer because that's the whole point of a color corrector, right? Is that it evens out, or it's supposed to cancel out the darkness so that way you don't use as much product on top of the skin because you won't need as much in order to cancel out the darkness since it's already been done. So let me apply a little bit of concealer. This one is my Tarte Shape Tape in the shade Medium Honey. So let me see here. I'm not going to apply a lot. All right, just like that. Hopefully I won't need much more than that. All right, and I'm gonna blend it out using my Deluxe Crease Brush from Real Techniques. I get a lot of questions about this brush. I purchased it. It was like a set of 2 brushes. They're like an eye set, but I use this for the under eye area, and I really like the way that it blends out concealer. Okay, so I'm not using a whole lot of concealer, and it is certainly not showing through. Let's keep going. Okay. Let's try this side. All right, so there is that. Concealer is on. Now let me go ahead and set the under eye area really quickly with a little bit of powder. So let's see here. All right, so there you have it. I feel like they're pretty concealed, but maybe not completely. I don't know. What do you guys think? Like I can kind of see my darkness through here, maybe a little bit through here. Perhaps I should have used a little bit more of the hue stick, but I'm good with how it looks as of right now. I'm really good with how it looks underneath this concealer, and I'm glad that I didn't have to use a lot of concealer in order to completely cover up the orange underneath the eyes, because if you use something that's really orange, you're gonna need more concealer. But this one, it got covered up pretty nicely. Now, I'd venture to say that if you used a medium coverage concealer, then it's probably still gonna look a little bit like peachy, a little bit orange. It's not gonna look as concealed as it does right now. But since I wore a full coverage concealer, it looks really good. Let me zoom you all in so that you can get a better look at the under eye area after initial application. All right, so this is the under eye area after initial application. All right, so I finished the rest of my makeup. I have the hue stick underneath the eyes, I have it on the lips, and I have a little tiny bit of it on the cheeks. Not a whole lot, because I don't really like blush on my cheeks anyway, so I didn't do a whole lot there. I like the way that it feels. It feels very lightweight. That's the one thing that keeps coming to mind, is how lightweight this feels. And it doesn't feel like drying at all. It does feel pretty hydrating, even though it feels like I have nothing on. We'll see how it wears throughout the day though. I do plan on wearing this all day long, and I am going to be coming back at the end of the night in order to show you all what it looks like at the end of the day. It's currently 12:40. I do plan on wearing this perhaps for about like 6-7 hours, just to give it somewhat of a full day. I feel like after 5 or 6 hours of wearing a product, you get a good idea of whether or not you like something, or whether or not it's going to wear well for like another, 2 or 3 hours. I feel like by the 5 or 6, 7 hour mark, sometimes I'm like, okay, I know whether or not I like this. So I am going to give it like 6-7 hours, and yeah, we'll see what it looks like at the end of the night. So I'll see you all back here in a few hours, quite a few hours, for my thoughts on this hue stick. Okay, so now I am back. It is the end of the day. It is 6:54. 6:54. I think I've had this on for about 6 hours now, give or take around 6 hours, something like that. Now, before I give you my overall thoughts on this product, let me zoom you all in so that you can get a better look at the under eye area after wearing this under my concealer for about 6 hours. All right, so this is what the under eye area currently looks like. You can still see my dark circles like you could at the beginning of the day, but keep in mind that I did not use a lot of concealer. I didn't use a lot at all, so I barely used any. I went very light-handed with it today, and this was the result. So I'd say not bad. All right, so there you have it. That is the under eye area after about 6 hours. It's worn really well underneath my concealer. I like what it did underneath the eyes. As far as wearing it on the lids, it didn't move around. It acted like a really good base. I wore metallic eyeshadow over top, and I don't see it creasing like in my lines or anything like that. It is very lightweight though. So you probably won't get any of that. So it wears well on the eyes. As far as the lips, this is what I am left with. I have had a couple of meals since I applied it earlier on in the day. So this is it. I haven't retouched or anything like that or touched up. I haven't done any of that. And this is what I'm left with. So I'm pretty good with that, especially considering the fact that this doesn't claim to be like a long-lasting lipstick or anything like that. Most of it stayed on. Let's see if we can reapply and have it look good. Oh yeah, you can reapply, no problem. So overall, what do I think? I like it. I like the formula. The formula is very, very comfortable. It almost feels like you're not wearing anything at all, which I truly appreciate, especially under the eyes. I hate feeling like I'm wearing a ton of product underneath the eyes because it is very thin skin. It is very uncomfortable sometimes when you feel like it's like overly dry, or it's a very sensitive area. So when it feels like it's too dry or like the products are too heavy, that's the first place that I notice. This one, I did not notice at all. When I applied it, I didn't notice it at all. However, I feel like I should have purchased the lightest shade because I feel like I would have been able to conceal my dark circles a little bit better with a lighter shade because I wouldn't have been as afraid to use more. With this one, I did want to keep it as less is more because it is such a bright orange, like such a bright orange, that I didn't want to like have to use a ton of concealer in order to cover that up. Kind of like I had to do with my Dragon Beauty corrector. That one, it is very, very, very like deep red. And so it was very hard to cover up. I had to use more concealer on top of the concealer that I had already placed. And I didn't want to do that with this one just because I didn't want to use too much concealer. That's one thing that I'm trying not to do this year, is not have to use too much concealer. So anyway, I'm certainly going to be ordering the lightest shade because I love the formula. I need a different shade. I need the lighter shade so that I can use a little bit more underneath the eyes and not be afraid that it's gonna look too orange, you know what I mean? So, and I feel like that one would wear better with like medium coverage concealers. I feel like you wouldn't be able to see through that because it is a lighter corrector. So anyway, I really like it, just the wrong shade. I got the wrong shade. So that completes today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. I truly hope that you enjoyed this product review and that you found it helpful. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss out on future videos. And also don't forget to follow me on Instagram, where I absolutely love to interact with you all and where you get to see like behind the scenes stuff, such as like me breaking my hand and you know where I'm at and you know what I'm up to. I try my best to keep you all up to date there, or updated there, as far as like things that are gonna come up, what I'm up to, that kind of thing. So if you're interested in seeing more behind the scenes stuff, definitely make sure that you follow me on there, where I am going to be a lot more active, especially now that like I can get back to it. I can get back to filming. As always, take care, and I will see you all in my next video. Mwah! Bye.